Okay, so in this new segment, we'll be talking about this particular topic called powers and roots. Okay, and again, it's a very easy topic. Okay, nothing to worry much about. Okay, since I'm here. Okay, now first let's start with what are squares. Okay, that's particularly in your syllabus part. So what are squares? So square of a number is obtained by multiplying the number by itself. Then we can say that the number is a square. For example, if I talk about the square of 1, so that means if I'm multiplying 1 by 1, that is 1 only. If I ask you the square of 2, so that will be 2 times 2, that is 4. Okay. If I ask you the square of 3, that will be 3 times 3, that is 9. Okay, if I ask you the square of 4, so that will be 4 times 4, that is 16, and so on. So these are actually known as squares. Okay, just like you can go for 13 square, 15 square, whatever, and you'll be getting the same answer. Okay, I think you must have understood till right now. Okay, and the point is, yes, it would be my advice that you should memorize the squares from at least from 1 square to 215 square. It can help you in your non-calculator based papers to do the fast calculations. Yeah, so you can go like that. Yeah, let's move on. So there are some examples, again very simple. 7 square, so that means you have to multiply 7 by itself, 7 by 7. Then 12 square, so 12 times 12, that's 144. 15 square, then 15 times 15. 18 square, 18 times 18. And arrange this in ascending order. So again, as I told you, as I remember those squares, okay, so 11 square is 121, 9 square is 81, 14 square is 196. So 9 square will come first, then will be our 11 square, and then our 14 square. Like that we can do. Yes, fine. Now there's something called square root. So the point is square root is the opposite inverse of squaring. So what does it mean? That let's say if I talk about a number a and if I square that up, so that means I'm multiplying the number by itself, so I'm getting a square. But when I just reverse it up, that's like if I want to move from a square to a, that will be known as square root. Okay. So for example, here if I'm having a number, let's say 4. Okay, and if somebody asks you that what is the square root of 4, so for that what you will do, okay, you will just do something like this, square root of 4. Okay, so you will do something like this, and then my advice would be initially that you should just start with prime factorization if you are very new towards it. Okay, and when you do the prime factorization of 4, what you will be finding out, it will be 2 times 2 with, and in finding out the square root you need to make a pair, then only you can take out that particular digit outside. So in this case, yes, we are having the pair and we cannot take out this digit outside, so that means the square of 4 is 2. Similarly, if it is about 169, so 169 we can obtain by multiplying 13 and 13, and we can take out 113 outside, so this will be square root of 13, or the square root of 169. But let's say if somebody asks you square root of 8, okay, and they ask you to simplify it up. So again, you'll be doing the prime factorization. You'll be getting 2 times 2 times 2. But here you can see one thing, that you can't make pairs, or you can only make one pair actually. You can't make 2 pairs. Okay, so this will come outside, but this will stay inside. So this will become 2 root 2. Okay, so like that you can do. Okay, and only you can see only perfect squares have integer square root. So just like only 4, 16, then 9, 25, 36, 49, and so on. Okay, 100, like that. These are like perfect square, because if you just do their prime factorization, if you try to solve them up, you will be getting perfect number over there. Okay, and simply this is 10 squares, so definitely you can directly take it out. Okay, 36 is 6 squared, so yes, you can take out the 6, and this will be the square root of 36, like that. So you can see the examples. Square root of 196. So again, what you can do, you can just do the prime factorization initially for the initial practice, and later on, definitely with practice, you'll be getting more and more. So 2 times 2, 9, and then 8. Then you can just again do the prime factorization, so it will become 49. Then again, so 7 times 7. So that means the prime factorization of 196 is 2 square into 7 square. And then what you can do, you can just write this thing inside the bracket. 2 square root 7 square, this thing, and you can take the square root over here. And the point is that you can see that 2 is appearing 2 times. So you can take out 1 2 outside. So we'll be left with 7 into 7. And then you can see that 7 is also in pairs. So we can take out 7 also outside. So it becomes 2 times 7, that is 14. So like that. Okay. Now, definitely, some students often write root 36 as plus minus 6, which is definitely wrong. Okay, this is too wrong. Because this square root can only give you the positive value. Yes, if there's a symbol like this, minus root 36, then you can get minus 6, but not by this actually. Understood? Why students get this problem? Because let's say they must have studied x square equal to 36. Okay. Now in this case, yes, x will be having two values. One is plus 6 and one is minus 6. Okay. Because you are just trying to find out the value of x. If you just do one thing, and maybe you must be knowing this identity, important algebraic identity, that is a plus b into a minus b. So this will become a times a minus a times b plus b times a minus b times b. So this gets cancelled out and you will be left with a square minus b square. So that means a plus b into a minus b equals to a square minus b square. Simply x square minus 36 equal to 0. We can write it like that. And then we can write it as x square minus 6 square equal to 0. And then we can write this thing as x plus 6 into x minus 6 equal to 0. So that means that we can have two values of x. One is 6 and one is minus 6. So in this case, we can get two values. But while taking out the square root, while using the square root directly, we can't get like two opposite sign values. Okay, we will always getting the positive value only. Okay, that's it. Similarly, you can practice out these questions. So just like the square root of 2 to 5. So again, for what you should do the prime factorization initially. 2 to 5, so it will be 5, and then it will be 5 over 20, 5 9 25, 5 to 25, yeah. And then it will be 5 times 9, and then it will be 3 times 3. So the point is this 2 to 5 can be written as square root of 5 times 5, 3 times 3. So yes, we are getting two pairs, so we can take that outside, so it will become 5 times 3, that is 15. As simple as that. That's how we can solve all these kinds of questions. Similarly, if somebody asks you root of 144, square root of 144, that's also pretty simple. Okay, 144 you can do the prime factorization. 144, so it will be 2 and 72, 2, then 36, then 2, then 18, 2, then 9, 3 and 3. Okay, so this 144 will be having 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. Definitely with time, you'll be doing it much more faster for sure. You don't need to do this much. But initially for yes, if you are just getting uncomfortable with regard to this topic, you should go for this. Okay. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay. And then 3 times 3. You can see that we are getting two pairs of 2. So we can take out 1, 2 from each of them. Okay. Just give me a second. So it will become 2 times 2. And then inside we'll be having 3 times 3. But yes, 3 also makes a pair. So we can take that outside. So it will becomes 2 times 2 times 3. That is how much? 4 times 3. That is 12. And 12 plus 8 is 20. So like that, we can do this question also. Okay. Similarly, you can proceed with other questions also. These are very easy. Just like 3 root 64. Okay. So yeah, you can go with this. So I would suggest you to do this question by yourself and post the answer in the comment section. Okay. I will definitely have a look after it for sure. Okay. Now let's move on to the third part, that is basically finding out the cubes. So just like we found out the squares, how we just multiply the number by itself. But here in this case of cube of a number, it is obtained by multiplying the number 3 times. Just like if I are having a cube, so we can write it as a times a times a. So that's it, a cube. Okay. And if I talk about the cube numbers, so that is also very simple. If I talk about 1 cube, so that will be 1 times 1 times 1. If I talk about 2 cube, that will be 2 times 2 times 2. If I'm talking about 3 cube, that will be 3 times 3 times 3. If I'm talking about 4 cube, that will be 4 times 4 times 4. Very simple and easy. And definitely, as you must have just noticed down in the square and square root section. So square and square root section. So again, the reverse process of it will be known as cube roots. So what does it mean? That if somebody asks you what is the cube of 4, so that would be 64. But if somebody asks you what is the cube root of 64, that will be 4. Simple. It's that easy. Just like cube of 5, definitely it's 125 because 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So cube of 5 is 125. But reverse of it, that means cube root of 125 will be 5. Okay? Just like similar to that, cube of 8 is 1512, but reverse of it, cube root of 512 is 8. Simple. Okay? So just like that, you can do multiple questions. 4 cube, simple, 4 times 4 times 4, that is 64. 6 cube, 6 times 6, that is 36. 36 times 6 is 216. Again, for this also, I will be having one suggestion to all of you, that you should just memorize the cube of at least 1 to 6. Okay, that will be helpful for you for doing fast calculations. Okay, again 5 cube plus 3 cube, that is also very simple. 125 plus 27. Okay, you can calculate it up, it is 152. And these are very easy, you can do it by yourself. Okay, you can do it by yourself. Simple evaluations, nothing more than that. Just like I will do the harder one, maybe you can do it by yourself. I can pause for a second. Yes, now you can just check out your answer. So 3 cube is actually 27, 5 cube is 125 and minus 64. So this will become how much? 152 minus 64, and 152 minus 64 is how much? That will be around 98 if I'm not wrong. Okay, if I'm fine with my calculations. So 98 or 88, I think. 88 if I'm not wrong. Yes, 88 should be the correct answer. Fine. Let's just move on. Okay, till right now I don't think so any doubt must be there. Again, as I told you, the inverse of cubing is basically the cube root. Okay, so as you know, 5 cube is basically 125, but cube root of 125 is 5. Okay, then 8 cube is basically 512, and cube root of 512 is basically 8. Like that, dear. Very simple, very easy. Okay, cube root of 64, for that you can do the prime factorization. So 64 is basically what? You can write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. The point is, yes, initially it is taking a lot of time, but definitely with time you won't be taking that much time. Now, in case of square root, it was about making the pairs of 2. Here it will be making a triplet. Okay, that means a collection of 3 elements, and then you can take that outside. Okay, so in this case it will be what? It will be 2 times 2, because we are having 2 triplets over here. So that means 4. Simple. 216 also. Okay, so 216, if I do the prime factorization, so you'll be getting 2 and then 108. 2, then you will be getting how much? 54. 2, then you will be getting 27. 2, then 3, then you will be getting 9. 3 and 3. So that means what? That means you'll be getting 2 times 2 times 2 into 3 times 3 times 3 cube root. So that means you'll be getting 2 times 3, that is 6. Simple. Everything is simple. You need to understand the things up. And these actually you can do it by yourself. Very simple questions. Yeah. Just do it. Put the answers in comment section. Definitely I will answer it. Okay. I will give a reply towards that. Other powers can also be there. Okay. Just like 2 to the power 4. What does that mean? So it means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is 2 to the power 4. That means 2 times 4, 2 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. 3 to the power 5. That means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3, 81. 81 times 3 is 243. So like that. And this actually is known as exponents. For that we are having a separate segment. So don't worry about that. And that this 2 is actually known as the base. This 4 is basically our exponent. Like that it goes on. So here in this case you can see that 4 cube, and this 4 is our base and 3 is the exponent that we need to think of. So 4 cube is basically 4 times 4 times 4, that is 64. As simple as that. So you can see over here 2 to the power 5 is basically what? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, that is basically what? That is 32. Again, one thing actually, very one interesting thing. So just like we had square roots, we had cube roots, we can have fifth root, nth root. Okay, just like somebody can ask you this fifth root of 2 to the power 5. So that in that case also it's very simple. Okay, now in this case, since it is fifth root, in this case you need to make a group of 5 elements and then you can take it out. Otherwise you can't take it out. Now you can take it out and you can get the answer as 2. It goes like that. Just like for the second question, 5 to the power 4. So that should be around 625. Yes, 625. Because 5 times 5 is 25, 25 times 5 is 125, 125 times 5 is 625. So yes, if somebody asks you, and nobody will ask you, let me tell you, but just for info, I'm giving it to you, that if somebody just randomly asks you, but what is the fourth root of 625? So in this case, you need to make a group of 4 elements, then only can take it out. Otherwise, you can't. Okay, you can't do that. Okay, so 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Since we are having a group of 4, we can take that outside and then we can write it as 5. Understood? Okay, let's say if in this case, if it was not about fifth root, if it must have been fourth root. So in this case, we need to make a pair of 4 and then that only we can take out. So in this case, we must have got the answer as 2 and the fourth root of 2. Okay, which we can use calculate with the help of calculator only. So don't worry about it. Okay, you won't be getting this much. Okay, the maximum you'll be getting is square root, cube root. That's it, nothing more than that. So don't worry about anything. Okay, then there are some mixed examples also. Just like if you are getting 5 square, so that is what, 25, and cube root of it, that is what, 2. So 25 times 2, 50. Like that, and like this also you can get some questions. Okay, just like you can see over here, 3 cube, that is how much, 27, and then cube root of 64, that is what, 4. So the answer is 31. Like that, simple. You can do these questions and you can post the answers. Okay, cube root of 125, that is what, 5. 5 plus 36, that is 41. So like that, it's a very short segment. Okay, so don't worry about anything. Done from my side. Okay, just post on the answers of whatever questions I have not just went through. Okay, I can check them up, and actually I can you can just learn a lot from it. So that's a short segment from my side. Hope you must have enjoyed. Okay, and let's see you in the next segment. Cheers, take care, bye bye.